It's Saturday morning at the NXL Virginia Beach Open. Players are back for their second day of preliminary play. A few rain showers throughout the night made for an interesting terrain for the players to adjust to. Day 2 of our event coverage in Division 3 features Pro Edge Army out of Houston, Texas, taking on New World Order from New York. Both are highly favored teams coming into the event and have both seen the podium before. Pro Edge comes into the match with 2 wins and a tie, while New World Order is flawless with the 3-0 record. New World Order would take the first 3 points to set the tone with a strong Dorito push that Pro Edge could not stop. With 7 minutes remaining, Pro Edge needed to figure out a way to come back. Pro Edge takes their first point of the match, but New World Order is there to take one right back and bring the game to 4-1 after a failed X attempt by Pro Edge. Pro Edge would take another attempt at the X, this time successful, as they would shoot out all the remaining New World Order players and rush to hit the buzzer. But unfortunately, there was not enough time for them to make a comeback, as the match concludes with New World Order taking on the win against Pro Edge 4-2. This leaves New World Order's record flawless at 4-0 throughout the prelims, while Pro Edge would fall to 2 wins, 1 tie, and 1 loss.
We just played Pro Edge. We beat them 4-2. They were pretty aggressive on the D side, and we knew that, so we wanted to stop them. They stopped them on the D side, and it's looking like we're going into Sunday for sure, man.
Just want to add that they knocked us out of Dallas a few months ago. They knocked us out of Sunday, so coming into this match, we knew that they were going to be, pretty aggressive, pretty talented team, and we knew it was going to be a tough match. And everything, just worked to plan. Everything went to execution exactly how we wanted it. Shout out to Pro Edge. We knew they were going to be a good team, but our plan worked to perfection. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Pro Edge again.
Our next Saturday prelim match in Division 3 is between Ralph Boys from Florida, who have made it to the top 4 in their last 2 national events, taking on NC Explicit out of North Carolina. Ralph Boys take the first point, but with the help of Corey Hicks pushing down both the Dorito side and the middle, Explicit is able to come back and score the next 2 and take the lead. Ralph Boys continuously took the corners and would turn the tables as they take dominance on the match down the snake side, winning the next 3 points in a row to win the match 4-2. Ralph Boys would go undefeated through the prelims, handing NC Explicit their one and only loss in the prelims.
For Ralph Boys, my name's Jonathan Aflalo. Yesterday we won both our matches, and today we started off. We won the first point, and then they made a few adjustments. They won 2 in a row, and then we called a timeout. Came back in the pit, kind of had to regroup as a team. You can't really blow up in the pits. Then we adjusted, and then we came back 2 points in a row, and the match ended 4-2. If we're gonna want to win this tournament, we're gonna have to really play as a team and not freak out in the pits. I think overall, if you want to win the tournament, every side, but if I have to say, our center and our back line is pretty consistent with it. It's just our front guys really have to just stay alive and talk.
Starting off our Saturday Division 2 prelim coverage, we have Boom 2, brother team to the professional team Boom, as they take on the Los Angeles Wrecking Crew. Both teams start the match by lining up 3 in the middle and sending 1 wide to each side of the field. But due to Boom's off-the-break shooting, Wrecking Crew would be unsuccessful getting to the Dorito side. Boom would repeatedly lock down the Dorito side, as this would prove to work in their favor. They would take the edge 3-1. After a huge move down the snake by number 9, Blake McShane, and a penalty on Wrecking Crew, Boom would appear to have the edge. But Wrecking Crew's number 21, Christian Navarro, would answer back with an attack down the snake side to bring the match to 3-2. Boom would hold the lead and take the next 2 points to beat the Wrecking Crew and bring their prelim record 2 losses and 1 win, while Wrecking Crew takes their second loss.
When I say broom, you say sleep. Broom, broom, sweet, sweet, broom, broom, sweet, sweet, broom, broom, sweet, sweet.
War to play for Team Boom, D2. We played Los Angeles Wrecking Crew. What worked for us really, I think, was establishing the Dorito side early in the game. Their game is in the pocket. They started to take a lot of ground off the break, which is when we started to play the pocket and blasting them off the break. So.
Our second and final Division II match features Birmingham Prime as they take on Rev O 3. Both teams come into this match undefeated, looking to maintain their perfect record and advance into Sunday. Neither team would play aggressive and would take turns exchanging points as the back and forth battle of the snake dominance would take place. With time ticking down, Prime would get the upper hand when they make one successful push down the snake to eliminate the remaining 2 Rev O players and pull ahead 4-3. Rev O 3 is handed their first loss of the event, and Prime goes on with a promising 3-0 record.
Timmy Roberts with Birmingham Prime out of Alabama. We just finished up a tough grinder of a game against Baltimore Rev O 3. The way we took the win is we had a couple seconds left. We were able to stop their double X play. Me and Johnny Wan ended up running down the snake on them, and Johnny ended up diving, touching the buzzer with about 3 seconds left in regulation. So we were able to get the 4-3 victory over those guys. It was excellent.
My favorite feature about the Clone 5 is the consistency of the long straight ball shot. This gun just has one of the most flattest, straightest projectile shots ever. Like, it's just perfect.
When I'm coming out snapping one ball, that shot is just their own.
One ball people from across the field. It's super accurate. It's so comfortable and it just feels right in your hands. And when you have it, I'm going to play some good paintball.
It's 100 PSI and it shoots straight, shoots every time, doesn't break, reliable in mud, water, dirt. Some guns just feel right. That's what this one is.
In our Saturday Pro matchup, we start off with San Antonio X Factor taking on the Moscow Red Legion. Right off the break, X Factor loses 2 bodies to a phenomenal break shooting of the Red Legion to set the pace early on, forcing X Factor to concede.
On that D side of the field and now filling into the snake, Moscow Red Legion gets Colombo in here, and X Factor forced to concede that point. San Antonio X Factor not starting out the game they wanted to.
X Factor would come right back, shooting Red Legion off the break, causing a major penalty and opening up an opportunity for Archie Montemayor to charge down the snake and wrap up the point to bring it to a tie game.
Comes Archie Montemayor, never one to waste an opportunity.
But X Factor would make a mental mistake and forget to hit the buzzer and receive the point.
A little confused here because this is the 3rd point and they're playing on the same side of the field they started on.
He would follow up that point with a fantastic and unexpected move up the middle of the field. Underneath the X, taking 2 Red Legion players with him.
Here comes Archie.
So Archie shoots
Bam,
him.
Hits one.
And Luik immediately asks for a check.
Well, Roberts is still alive over there picking bodies off and gets Colombo, Colt Roberts.
How did he drop that shit, or drop that shot on him?
X Factor would take the game to 3-1, while Red Legion would make another mental mistake of their own. as they are handed their second penalty of the match and handing X Factor another point, now 4-1.
And now here comes Colt coming after Axel.
But Red Legion would use this as motivation, fighting their way back, bringing it to a 4-3 match with only 2 minutes left on the clock.
Red Legion, getting that point that they desperately needed to stay in this game.
And that last X Factor player alive over there for the Doritos, and Blue's going to put it on him.
With time winding down, Kevin Clume would make his way down the snake in hopes of bringing it to overtime, but his efforts were too late as he sprints for the buzzer, missing it by seconds as the game clock expires.
Valiant effort by Kevin Clume in the closing seconds, but it wasn't enough, and the victory is going to go to San Antonio X Factor in a very close match.
This would leave X Factor and Red Legion both 2-1 for the day, with a match apiece remaining to finish the prelims.
Hi, I'm Wayne Berry. I'm the owner and operator of TC Paintball out of Traverse City, Michigan. This will be our first full year with Falcon. We got a good relationship with the staff there. They go above and beyond what other people have done for us. I think Falcon's paint has been exceptionally well received. Our customers are happy and we're happy. We came up with our own custom box and custom ball this year, and that's something I've wanted since I opened my business in '99. That was important to me. If you're ever in the Great Lakes region, definitely stop by one of my stores or my fields in Michigan. Check us out online at tcpaintball.com and obviously on Facebook.
For our second Saturday prelim pro matchup, we have the new and upcoming AC Dallas program taking on the longtime franchise of Chicago Aftershock. Aftershock comes in with an 0-3 record, losing all of their matches by just 1 point, while AC enters with 2 wins and 1 loss.
AC Dallas coming to making a statement to the league here, going and having just an amazing prelims.
Really nice to see a young team playing well.
Yeah, and a team from Texas too.
Yeah.
The first point starts off slow. No bodies are lost early, and both teams zone up to play on the defense.
Immediately gets a kill across the field. Dizon gets shot on the bump going out to the snake side corner.
That is until John Jackson creeps up the middle of the field to help take the point in favor of AC.
Shock's kind of been doing that too, though.
Yeah, you're right. No, absolutely. It's a very similar style of play. You're right. They'll get up those bodies, and they're either, because that's the thing is you get a couple kills and that's your time. That's when you can really take advantage and just put the point away. Or you can take your time and then you got to dig a little bit harder to work. You got to work harder to win that point.
I feel like Shock's actually been playing pretty good this weekend.
They have,
but just keeps throwing points away.
Yeah.
Aftershock would quickly respond.
Not looking good for AC here in this point. Here comes Chris Sosine up in the center. Bodies dropping left and right for AC Dallas, and here comes
Chris Sosine comes parading up the middle of the field right back, wreaking havoc on AC.
Now Shock losing bodies.
Shock goes snake off the break, gets shot.
Lawhead gets picked off going to Dorito 1. Simmons gets shot coming to the snake.
See, so right now that's where you're thinking you'll see a big move from AC, but they're kind of just hunkering down, and I can't knock that either. But sometimes you make the points harder than they need to be.
AC goes on to take the next 2 points, setting up a 3-1 advantage on Aftershock with 8 minutes remaining on the game clock, and still plenty of time for Aftershock to stage a comeback for victory.
Yeah, I mean, you get out wide against a team you shot their snake guy off the break, and you're not able to take advantage of it.
And when you're winning or losing games by 1 point,
yeah, you think about it.
It's the small little differences. Yeah. They're going to decide whether or not you walk out of this tournament a winner or walk out going, man, we really need to fix what's going on here.
AC Dallas would sit and attempt to maintain their lead. Both teams would eventually have 2 in the snake, and after 7.5 minutes of slow play, LJ Woodley of Aftershock makes a smart move by bunkering out the snake of AC, helping allow Chris Sosine to make his way down the Dorito side and race to hit the buzzer with 45 seconds remaining.
It happened, man. We're under a minute, and they've won this point here.
That's a bummer.
All he's got to do is get in there and hit that buzzer, and so they're still going to have enough time. They'll have enough time. I mean, it's not a lot, but they,
See, but the problem is they had 5 minutes, and it was the same thing for 3 minutes. You can't waste that time. It's like if you're going to make you're down 2 points, you have to win this one.
Yeah, they did get the point, and they do have enough time to make it happen.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. Anytime you're about under a minute, minute and a half, all you really can do is just, we talked about this earlier, make a car crash happen.
Yeah, and
hopefully
hopefully
you're the guy
you're
that
still
survives.
running. Yeah.
You just need one.
Yeah.
You just need one. But you have to force that
Yeah,
car
see,
crash.
Aftershock would attempt to close out the quick point, but instead would be chopped up by the guns of AC Dallas and run out of time.
He's alive, and just not enough time, and Woodley still gets shot. So that is going to do it here for
There you
Chicago
go.
Aftershock.
Congrats, AC. I think that.
Aftershock would leave the event winless, as AC Dallas would finish with 3 wins and 1 loss, advancing on to Sunday.
Congratulations. You guys have had such an impressive weekend. When you came off the field, I heard some of your teammates saying, goal 2, we got our goal 2, our second goal. What was that goal, and what was the first goal?
Well, our first goal was to beat one of the top teams, which we did that yesterday. We beat Houston Heat. And then our second goal was to make Sunday, which by beating Shock, we should move on. So we achieved everything we wanted to so far.
So far, I'm sure you have many more goals coming up.
Yeah, correct. We still want to go on and, possibly win the tournament. You can never get that out of your head, so it's only up from here.
Absolutely. We've seen you guys play stronger at this tournament than any other tournament. What were those things that you guys have been learning playing these pro teams a couple times that you brought here and made the difference?
Our biggest thing that we've learned so far is probably just survivability. Like, we get in our spots, and a lot of times we'll just die out of our spots. So a big thing for us is just stay alive. 5 bodies up, we win the point. So that's what we've been working on.
Our final matchup of Saturday Pro Division coverage features Houston Heat taking on the legendary and currently undefeated San Diego Dynasty.
So here we go. Getting into this first point, San Diego Dynasty with their pretty traditional conservative breakout, not risking any bodies out wide.
Big aggressive break for Heat. They went both corners and looks like they both made it.
Dynasty loses Tyler Harmon early as Heat begins to make its first push, attempting to set the pace. Each team loses 2 bodies and the point begins to slow down. But after a few nice shots by Dynasty, they find Chad Boucher alone in the snake and wrap up the point.
There's Alex Frazee going past the 50-yard line, going to run down Chad Boucher.
In the second point, Tyler Harmon redeems himself as he shoots a Heat player off the break on the snake side. Dalton Vanderbilt punches down the Dorito side and makes a few quick kills, then Ryan Moorhead makes a desperate run down the field in hopes of making something happen. But Heat would concede the point before he could do any damage.
So here's Dalton Vanderbilt in the 50 Dorito as he's calling out his kills.
Here's another one.
And another
Here
one.
comes Ryan
and
Moorhead.
another one.
Runs right past Dalton. Oh, maybe that's what he got the penalty for. Running after
Dalton
Jonathan's back.
is just walking him down.
It's a great angle there.
One-handing him.
Dynasty starts a body down, and Heat couldn't capitalize on the advantage as the Dynasty players worked collectively to finish off the last few players of Heat, extending their lead to 3.
For San Diego Dynasty, they're going to go up 3-0 with just 6 minutes and 40 seconds after a couple long points.
That was definitely a big point right there.
Heat would receive a minor penalty after losing a body early as Dynasty takes the quick point and a 4-point lead to set the tone.
San Diego Dynasty.
So hopefully,
I thought we were going to see a bloodbath
yeah, that's
game.
kind of what I was expecting too. But
When we were talking about this before we actually went live in this match, we were speaking about how great these 2 games could potentially be.
With 6 minutes remaining and Heat down by 4, they know an aggressive game plan is needed. They recollect themselves and come back hungry as the game shifts to a complete 180. Dynasty is unable to maintain Heat as they stomp down the field in the next 3 consecutive points, bringing the match within 1 in an epic comeback fashion.
Oh, Tyler Harmon.
Tyler's going.
Corner.
And they switch it up last second. So Dynasty on the breakout, now going out wide. Tyler Harmon trying to get in, and it looks like he makes it in clean.
Yeah.
So they change it up, and it works. 5 bodies alive for Dynasty, and now they just need to stave off the attack for Houston Heat.
With 3.5 minutes remaining on the match, and the score 4-3 in favor of Dynasty, Heat looks to bring the match into overtime, while Dynasty hopes to hold them off in an attempt to slow down the momentum that they've been building over the last 3 points. As the clock winds down, Heat makes the last-second push that shows to be successful, reaching the buzzer with only a second to spare, sending the match into overtime.
Well, it's going to come down to the overtime. We'll see it again here.
Man, so 4 unanswered points by Heat to tie the match with literally 0 seconds left.
The overtime point begins with Heat losing 2 bodies early as Dynasty capitalizes on the body advantage and takes advantage of the point as they stop the Heat comeback and regain control, taking the match with a 5-4 victory. This win would send Dynasty into Sunday, while knocking Heat out of the competition, sending them home after a devastating surprise of a 2-win and 2-loss finish. At the end of our Saturday preliminary matches, we look at our top 4 seeds of each of our featured divisions as they head into Sunday. In Division 3, holding the top spot, we have Ralph Boys, followed by Texas Phalanx, NC Explicit, and Colorado Blitz. In Division 2, we have Bay State Bandits in first, followed by Brooklyn Bears, Raleigh Bloodhounds, and Birmingham Prime. And to wrap up our Saturday preliminary top seeds of the professional division, we have Edmonton Impact on top, followed by San Diego Dynasty, Los Angeles Ironmen, and San Antonio X Factor. Make sure to stay tuned of episode 3 of the NXL web series as we take a look at Sunday's competition and the conclusion of our 3-day event at the Virginia Beach Open as we crown the new NXL champions. Also, check out all the action during the last event of the NXL season taking place live at playnxl.com during the 2015 World Cup, October 16th through the 18th.